Rob is a very interesting character in the meta. People say that he's broken and clearly the best character in the game, or top 5, and then the Rob players say, no, he's not, he actually loses a billion matchups. And what is going on? I want to talk about that because Rob is one of the characters that kind of exemplifies a problem that I have with just like how people view characters in this game. So let's get into it. But first, of course, don't forget to subscribe, go down, comment, like, let me know what other characters you want me to talk about. I'm down to do that even outside of the contexts of a tier list. Also, hi chat, we finally have chat. So if you want to be part of the chat, you can always join me on my Twitch. Anyway, let's go. So here's the thing. Rob is obviously an amazing character. The character has a ton of strengths, has one of the best neutral tools in the entire game with down tilt, has one of the other really good neutral tools in this game with neutral air. He has gyro, he has camping projectiles, he has a good recovery, he has a lot of good stuff, right? Of course, there are negatives for him, which is mostly his disadvantage state because he doesn't really have a lot of good landing tools except for throw gyro down drift behind it, which isn't super good because his nair is also very punishable when you start parrying it. So again, you see people like Zomba do incredibly well at events. You see other Robs such as Zachary's Rob, of course, in my opinion, still maybe the best Rob, even though he plays a lot of characters. You have Robs like Wadi, who are just like playing fundamentals and don't really know the combos. You have Anathema, who seems to be one of the more, like probably the most technical top Rob. He gets a lot of like double and triple tosses, and I love Anathema. He's my favorite Rob. But we have a bunch of these Robs doing work. You have Big Boss as well. You have, I don't know the top Robs in Europe because I'm lazy, except for Lucretio, but Lucretio is not like a super top player. He's just really technical, but I will talk about him in a little bit. So what is going on with Rob? Because he's good, I feel like he's not super good. You see all the people complain about, oh, they have 17 -2 matchups because they lose to Young Link and Samus and Mario and Mii Brawler and Pikachu and Yoshi and Ness and Pyramithra and Steve and Peach and like all these characters, right? Like every single Rob will say they lose to a billion characters, right? So what's going on? And this is something how I also view the game. And this is a little bit different, so bear with me here. I view the game and I factor in the ridiculous strengths that characters have, even if they're not super consistent and you're not gonna get them all the time. A lot of players don't actually factor in the dumb stuff that the characters have. When you look at Steve matchup charts, who's a character that in theory could 0 to death you every stock, they don't factor in the combos. They go, oh yeah, neutral's really hard versus like these characters, so I don't like it, even though their punish game is way better. Same for the Robs. Robs have ridiculous punish games. They're actually really dumb. Like the Z-drop nairs, the Z-drop nairs, it's a little bit more complex than just Z-drop nair, because Z-drop nair exists and the combos are super good off of that, but there's a lot of setups for it. It's not just, I'm gonna run up and Z-drop nair, and that's all you can do. There's like, throwing the gyro down, back throw, pick up the gyro with the nair. Of course, if you check out Lucretio's combos, he has a ton of amazing setups. Him and Iopopo, who I think is a Japanese Rob who's just like a tech grinder, they do amazing stuff, and you don't see almost any of that stuff at top level. Again, Anathema is one of the only Robs that will actually do double and triple tosses in tournament. It's why you saw him 0 to death, I think it was Jazzo, from the one side of PS2 all the way across the other side, because he's really good. So one thing I feel like that happens a lot of the times with especially top tier players is they will undervalue their broken stuff because like, oh, you're not supposed to hit it, but then overvalue, oh, well, if they just parry every single nair, like when I'm landing, I can't win. Like you saw the end of Cosmos versus Zomba Cosmos started parrying and like dealing with gyro better. He started punishing Zomba's disadvantage habits really well, and Cosmos just absolutely obliterated him to the point where Zomba went Link. I kind of did that too when we played, he was up, he won game 1, he was bodying me game 2, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna start landing or being under him and parrying nairs and getting my combos that way in extended juggle situations. And it worked, and then I ended up winning, coming back game 2, and then destroying him game 3 because I was just not letting him play the game. But the thing is, you can always play the game when you play Rob because you have amazing neutral tools. I feel like a lot of characters that have really strong neutral tools like down tilt, obviously there's counterplay to down tilt that's not absolutely just unfuckable with because they still have to like react to their move hitting and stuff like that. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of Robs could just honestly like short hop fair backwards, just be like down tilt, short hop fair backwards, and just win neutral over and over again, get percent, and then eventually have the down tilt chains and stuff like that. Also, the biggest problem is something I'll talk about in another video, which will be, or it's separate own video, but Rob players, for the most part, most of the top Rob players don't practice super hard. they aren't labbing their combos, they aren't grinding, they're playing Rob in tournaments, and of course, like, Zomba tweeted, like, I don't practice. Wadi didn't own the game for a long time. And that's not really an ultimate is easy thing, and more like a Rob is a really simple character until you start learning his tech, which you need to do at top level. It's pretty necessary in order to win majors, because Zomba got second, haha. And that's not, I'm not just trying to like shoot shots at, you know, Zomba. I think he's an amazing player, but I think he also isn't putting in the work that he could with the character that is broken. Like, I tweeted that the other day. I'm like, yeah, Rob is super broken, probably top 10, but none of the Rob players actually put in the work to make him top 10. Again, I think that is why Anathema could overtake him, because Anathema, as he learns neutral and, you know, does that type of stuff better in the reads, he can suddenly just kind of start outplacing Zomba because Anathema then has the combos. Like, he's got ridiculous, I've seen so many early percent kills that Anathema's gotten with gyro stuff. It's kind of ridiculous. It's actually like not okay. But I really feel like Rob is a character that is tech grindy. You have to do that. Same with Steve, but of course you saw Jake get third at Glitch, and that's, you know, without knowing any of the tech stuff. However, you can combine the two. You don't have to just either play neutral or be a tech monster. Hello, I'm one of the people that is both. But like, Rob has super obvious, amazing strengths. Down tilt, forward air, grab, down, like down throw combo, or down throw berry stuff, up throw combos, a kill throw, really dumb edge guarding with down air and side B. And I feel like there's just a lot of misconception onto what makes a character good or bad in a lot of people's minds. Obviously, like, I'm not saying that I'm 100% right, that's just my opinion, and you can have different ones. Let me know down in the comments what they are, and while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe. But like, I just feel like there's an amount of labbing that Rob players have access to, are able to do, and it makes a huge difference, because things like double toss, double toss by itself makes combos crazy different. Things like the new meta combo, because I think that was what Lucretio called it, where like you do short hop, delayed Z drop, nair fast fall, and that just works at the ledge, so it extends the ranges of your Z drop things, and it makes it work on platforms better. Like, there's just so much stuff that can be discovered, which means random nairs at 30 are now killing if you have gyro in hand, and not just from the stage, or like not just from the ledge where you get one toss, but like, there's so much, and I can show some now. I think I did in a different Rob video, but let's go look at some. You know, it's one of those just really important aspects of Rob as a character, his advantage state, and just the Rob players, for the most part, don't take advantage of it. Again, you need to get hit by nair, and you need to have gyro in hand sometimes, which is a really, you know, unrealistic standard for a lot of times, but people get hit. People get hit by everything. Like, I have hit people with them sleeping at the wheel so often, or like, you're not expecting something. So yeah, what are you gonna do? Every single time Rob has gyro, you're just gonna do this the entire time and like roll around and that's it? Like, no, Rob has options. And Rob has like safe things that can kind of make it annoying. And again, I would say it's a little bit difficult to figure out all this type of stuff, because there's a lot of it. There's a ton of different variations with Rob, which can make it kind of a pain in the ass to figure out, right? Like that. Like, that shit's ridiculous. That was from like almost the center of the stage, and if they DI in on the nair, like, there are so many ways to confirm off a lot of DIs, and you just have to be ready for it, because that's part of learning your combo routes, is just learning all the differences and then trying to be able to react, especially because the beginning is just dashing forward anyway. Like, you're not really doing something different, you're just, you know, then having to react to where they're going. Rob, of course, has strong and weak nair, which can make it a little bit difficult, because sometimes you want the weak nair, sometimes you want the strong nair, but at the same time, that's on you as the Rob player to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? Like, that still works at 60%. And I see a bunch of these Robs just like be like, yeah, I have to win neutral over and over again. It's like, you do, because you're not doing your combos. And yes, am I messing it up? Is this really difficult? Kind of. I wouldn't say really difficult, but it is difficult at some level, because you gotta practice it. But again, doing things like practicing this type of stuff makes your gameplay so much better, because you understand how to confirm, and then you'll get those kills and you'll get those stocks. I mean, I tweeted it the other day at Zomba. He was like, oh, Rob's not top 10, and I was just like, I think Rob is top 10, but no one's putting in the work to do this type of stuff. Again, the only Rob that's like a top tournament Rob that I see do it is Anathema sometimes. Or it's like, okay, then you know at certain percents to you just do this, and then they're dead. Oh, I actually got the double toss ball. Like, that's when they're dead, right? Or if you want to make sure, you can do double toss. Like, And like, yeah, can it be awkward to learn all these things? Of course, but that's why when I play Mii Brawler, I lab him for 27 bajillion hours because I want to make sure that I hit my combos, because hitting the combos is super important. And again, I'm not trying to be just like, I'm better. It's just like, I feel like this character is crazy combo potential. And a lot of the Rob players just are like, yeah, I'm gonna play neutral and learn how to play neutral, but then people learn how to play neutral or advantage state better than them, and then they lose. Like, so many people are very lazy when it comes to, like, it's not even like every character has to do this, because not every character has the tools that Rob does. Like, if you are playing like Donkey Kong, you don't have to lab as much. But like, if you don't know all these confirms, then you're going to miss out on kills and games and stocks and sets because of it. And like, that's a really big deal. Like, double tosses are so important, and I feel like there's so many opportunities for Rob players to get a ton of kills that they just don't do. And again, I want people to play the best versions of their character, because I don't want people to be dishonest about ranking their character. Like, Rob is a character that, sure, loses several matchups in terms of neutral and in terms of disadvantage, but he has 0 deaths that almost no other character has. And there's no way that you can more reliably juggle Rob for an entire stock than you can get a Z-drop Nair. There's no way that that's equivalent. There's no possible way. So any matchup that Rob loses, he can always win. There are no unwinnable matchups for a character that this explosive. Same with Steve, same with Kazuya, same with all those type of characters, because you can eventually get the neutral win and win off of it, or advantage state and then tech chase with Z-drop Nair, or ledge trap better, or do all these different things. And I feel like the Rob players are just like, I'm gonna do my one thing, and if it doesn't work, then Rob sucks. And that's not really how that works, unfortunately. Especially with a character with a recovery like Rob, it's not like he just dies or gets edge guarded or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I feel like a lot of the Rob players, because like Steve is kind of known for his tech, but I feel like Rob is known like, oh, he has back air and he has down air and he has like that one combo, but it's not just one combo. Like, that one combo's death. That one combo makes people shield. That one combo is entire conditioning and fear. Like, I feel like people don't really understand the aspect of fear in this game. When you're really good at your combos and then every single hit means death, then that means that people have to play like so perfectly against you, or they're gonna panic, and then you can capitalize on their panic even when you mess up, because they don't know when you mess up, only you know when you mess up. So if you know the combo routes and your opponent doesn't, because I'm not going to lab Rob and figure out every single one of his combo strings for me personally against Pikachu. I don't know when I'm gonna die. They do, so they know when, oh, I dropped this. Let me punish an air dodge. Let me punish a jump. Let me be ready to capitalize on this thing that I messed up. Like, do it. Like, I don't even think it's an underrating of their character. I think it's just a not fully like knowing the strengths of their character to the point that they should in order to accurately judge the character. Like, when I talk about Steve, I'm like, I think Steve is top 10 or 15 because he has an incredible neutral and can kill you off of one hit. Do you see Jake killing people off of one hit? No, but there are so many opportunities that he got the hit at 0 and could have killed them. Didn't. Because it's hard, don't get me wrong, like, especially Steve combos. Steve combos are actually very difficult. But like, you just have the ability to do the correct thing, and as Rob you have that, and then the best down tilt in the game, and then a really good neutral air, for especially in neutral. Like, disadvantage, yeah, it's kind of not great because it's slow, but like in neutral, it's fine. That's why people get hit by his nair, his back air, all those type of things. And then he has an amazing grab, amazing edge guarding. Like, his only negative is his disadvantage, and it's not that bad to the point where it's like he's top 20 because disadvantage and he's big. Like, who cares that he's big? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, because being short is inherently an advantage, but it doesn't matter that much. And yeah, that's going to be about it for this one. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Let me know what other characters you want me to talk about, because I do think there's a couple of videos I do want to mention. I'm going to be uploading one that I'm going to be recording right now, so you'll still have this on, so it's the same day. But there's a couple of other videos I do want to record. Of course, I am still working on the Pikachu Advanced Guide, because that hit a sub goal for that. And then, of course, my Mii Brawler combo guide, which will be out. I'm still, you know, writing down all the labbing stuff. So yeah, have a good day. Peace.
Pikachu busted.